Okay, hey up everyone, I'm Sue Circuit and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. Now we are all very familiar with this screen, but this time I get to enter my favourite time of day, which happens to be, actually I don't know, I'm a bit of a night owl but I'm also not a night owl, so I don't know. When everything quiets down, I would say probably 10 PM. That's when everything starts to get a bit more quiet, doesn't it? Because everyone kind of goes to bed or whatever, things are winding down. So 10 PM is my favourite time of day. Yes, I remembered, I'm so proud of myself for remembering. So, 10 PM is your favourite time of day. Or you could simply not resist giving me the correct time again. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. So if you remember rightly, this guy asked us about setting the time properly, like to our favourite time. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 10 PM is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 10 PM? I'm gonna, like, to the current time or what? I'm gonna say relatively accurate because it's not entirely clear. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting the settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I could invent new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard, yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready the next time you boot up the game. Well, let's hope there is a next time, Stanley. I mean, like, we don't know. But yeah, without further ado, shall we get into this video? Okay, so I think we had to, every time we load up, we have to begin again. So it's going to be very interesting. I hope I don't sound too terrible, by the way. My cold is coming back again with a vengeance. It keeps doing this. It keeps, like, being okay for a while, and then it comes back, and I'm like, I sound awful. But I'm going to carry on, because that's how
This
to
is
work
the
life
story
balance.
of a man named Stanley.
I'm going to skip it this time. We've been through it, like, 3 times. You don't need to go through the whole thing again. Yeah, we'll just... I say 3 times. Is this episode 3 or is this episode 4? I don't know anymore. I stopped keeping count a while ago. But yeah, we still haven't cracked the case of the computers because we end up leaving before we managed to do it. And I know that it
All of
doesn't
his
spawn,
co-workers were gone.
unlike the
What could it
first couple of
mean?
rounds through.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Are you okay there, narrator? I mean, your audio is peeking out a little bit. Yeah, I'm hoping this video turns out okay. Let's just say my equipment, at least it's on its last legs, and I can't replace it just yet, so we are hoping and praying, basically. New content. I am tempted, but there is something I want to say. We got through to the mind control room the other day, and
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I can't remember which door we had to go through. I think it's this one. We got to the mind control room and we went into it. So I want to see what happens if we go down the escape way.
Yet there was not a single person
Or
here
this is the same as usual.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
There we go. It did open. So
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hello, narrator. We can actually go in this time again. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Sorry, it's a lovely purse. Ooh. Now, I did hear that apparently you can glitch these doors, so I want to see if it's doable.
Stepping into it.
I mean, kind of, I guess. I guess that kind of works. I broke the narrator, but yeah. Apparently you can glitch the doors to go and explore the rest of the game, so I'm gonna give this a go. I wanted to. When I found it and saw it on Reddit the other day, I was like, so that's what happens. So I want to do this, so we can all see and explore this game. I see all the doors are open, but he usually shuts them behind us, so where is it taking us is the question. This is kind of creepy. Going backwards, he's not saying anything. It's like, it's kind of too quiet. Narrator, are you there? That door wasn't open before. Was it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not clever enough to remember these things. But either way, we can't get to it, so let's go through this door. Oh, I straight walked in a circle because I got lost. It put me in a dark room and I went in a circle. I'm the type of person who wouldn't be able to escape from a paper bag. You are now leaving. Okay. Cool. This kind of coloring scheme reminds me of Mirror's Edge. I really want to play the original. I've only ever played the second game. I really want to play the original game. I can't see. I'm just going to keep going around and hoping that I'm going the right way here. Stanley, I'm impressed at your cardio. He doesn't even slow down not for a second. Like, he never tumbles or stumbles or anything. None of these doors are open. How many sets of stairs are we going to have to go up? Probably now. I want to check out that new content as well. So what I'll do is I'll go down the mind control ending and then we'll see. Escape launch bay pod. Escape. Let's go. Hear his footsteps, but never a breath. Like, how is he not out of breath? Oh my god. Okay. Did we win? Is that another ending? Did we win? I don't know. I like the slider guy. The slider guy starts way more nicer than this narrator. He just gets all miffed when you when you go the wrong way. Let me get the mind control ending where I escape. Maybe the computer's reset now, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, Stanley never misses a memo. Stanley's cool. Aha! Yes, they have. So I know the next one's going to be in the other room, so I know I don't have to look for it. Yes, I know there's new content. I'm just pretending it's not there, like Stanley does with all of his problems.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Already done it, Narrator. I'm speedy. I'm as speedy as they get.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
It feels like Stanley can't, like,
Feeling
floats.
a wave of disbelief,
Stanley
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
floating.
office,
Not,
hoping he might find an answer there.
He's not like walking. He's just kind of
Coming
like
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But you hear footsteps, but he doesn't bob like there is footsteps. I'm going to go in here every single time and see if it... To be rich is a crime. To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. This boss man and its motivational quotes needs some working on. Okay, I'm going to behave this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
I know!
So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I wanted the narrator to be my therapist.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I was enjoying that. That's true. I just realised I had a file open on my laptop this entire time, and the poor CPU is just not built to handle both things being open, so I just had to close it there. I was like, whoops. So, I assume I go this way. This way? Yes, I've forgotten. There we go. I've forgotten everything. It's been like a week, and I had the memory of a sieve. It honestly is a curse. Come on, Stanley, load faster. I don't know if it can hear me during the loading screens.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I don't know, Stanley, but I get the feeling, man. What are these for? These little markings on the floor.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that said Mind Facility.
I have a feeling that the game's being funny with the audio.
Although this passageway had the word escape on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Well, I'm not going to stop if you say that to me. I'll just say
the door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So the audio is sounding a bit funny in my headset, so I'm hoping it turns out okay in the video, but if not, I'll have to do some troubleshooting to find out what's wrong with it. Hopefully it's not my headset. So now I've walked this whole way. What if I go backwards again? Is he gonna have a comment for me, or is he just gonna be there like, I told you so? Let's go the whole way back. Oh, the light bulb made a noise. I kind of like messing with the narrator, but also this is kind of like something you shouldn't really mess with a narrator about, but oh well. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, but not sorry. I don't feel guilty. I want to see what happens. And then we'll go through the new content door and see what happens there as well.
But of course, had too much to live.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try and figure this out. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're back, and I'm not entirely sure what's causing the audio issues, but I'm hoping basically whatever is happening in my headphones doesn't bleed over to the video. But if it does, I'm not sure what's wrong. But in the interest of having authenticity and like genuine reactions to things, I don't want to stop the recording and just record the whole thing again, because then I just feel like my reactions just won't be the same. And that's why some of the videos on my channel, you may have noticed, like there was frame rate issues or so on and so forth. I haven't re-recorded them. I could go back and re-record some of them I can't, obviously, because they're like one-off things that are going to happen. But I always try and make sure that my videos have my genuine reaction first and foremost. So if that means they're not entirely perfect, then they're not entirely perfect. So as I say, hopefully the audio is okay. I want to keep things as like real as possible, so we're gonna just carry on.
Nope, still on board with death.
I don't know what's wrong with it, and so I'm gonna have to do some more extra troubleshooting. I've just tried starting again to see if that will fix it, basically. But as I did say, I do need to get some new gear, because my poor setup at the moment wasn't designed for YouTube. It was designed for when I was in uni. So, and I was doing tutoring rather than YouTubing, so we're gonna see what happens. That's so ominous, but let's go. Ooh. I'm gonna have a sip of tea during the loading screen. In case you're ever wondering, I have tea in literally every video next to me.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer, eyes, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his day was of no loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No.
Stanley.
No. Tried turning the narrator down a little bit. You may notice at this point.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the
Excuse me.
narrator, as
Hello?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, that was anticlimactic. I thought you were going to just drop endlessly there. But yeah, you may notice just at this very second I was trying to say, I was looking down for a minute or two because I was just trying to adjust my audio to see whether it's the narrator who's talking so loud that's causing the poor game to really struggle. So I'm just going to turn some of this down. I don't know. We're just going to try our best to fix things, and hopefully it's all right then. So we'll put these at like, let's say 70 for this one, and we'll set a narrator down.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We'll make him the same.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We'll make him 75. Just
this
because
is the story of a man named Stanley.
at the same time, I don't know whether it's because the game is just too loud. It's making my headphones be funny because I'm using OBS and you can see it goes into like the red sometimes. So I tried turning it down through the actual thing,
And
but
yet
I've also
it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
I also
What
didn't
exactly
want
did
to
the
just
narrator think he was going to accomplish?
you know, make it so quiet that you couldn't hear what was going on.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Also, I didn't want to click restart because then that restarts everything we've just done. So it might just be the game being funny with me for today. So we'll see. What does this say? Corridor. The pacing of this open section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered, and to make sure the player reaches the two doors in good time. It would be helpful if I could freaking see, wouldn't it? I'm not going to touch that. That's going to make things angry. I'm not going to do that. So you've got paintings in the game, all the lovely stock art, nature paintings. I don't actually know if they are stock art. I just call them stock art. What does this say? It says office layout. The blueprint shows the office from beginning of the game. If you're wondering why I'm struggling so hard to read, I can't read it off my screen that I've got recording, and I can't read it off my TV because it's too far away, so you have to bear with me. The path from Stanley's office. I can't read it. There we go. Right, I found out how to do it, but now I can't see any of my other settings, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, the blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path around Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. The core layout remains the same and identical to the first iteration. Oh, so this was about the same then, was it? Cool. And then I don't know what this is. I'm trying to now not look at my open screen when I'm playing, and it's not going very well. This is just a computer desk. You got doors, the office, different rooms. Can I open these? No, they're not interrupted. This is cool. I'm liking this a lot. I like how the narrator's also quiet for a little bit. See, Filing cabinets, because they're very important. Office computers. Can I turn them off? I can. This one's playing solitaire. I got credits over there. I'll go look in a minute. What's this? So button sounds, a selection of sounds used throughout the game when the buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and synthesized tones. Okay, that is crunchy. I think I like 5 best. And these are all the credits, so I'm just going to have a quick look. I'm not going to read them all. I'm not even going to attempt to read them all. So I'm just going to have a quick look. So if you want to read, you're just going to have to pause. So we're going to go through here instead. Go through the next door. The office. So you got your boxes and your plants. This is cool. I like how they put that in the little different bits. I got the printer. The little bits are like pedestals. It's like a museum. That's the memory room. That's Stanley's office. That's the break room, I think. I don't think we've seen that one yet. We haven't seen this either. Money raining down. I don't know what that's a storage room. Let's go in here. Warzone. Ooh. Brutal. Bit brutal for Stanley Parable. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realised shortly after starting to build it, it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Aww. That would have been a cool little Easter egg. Maybe, you know, after you play the whole game, you can get like that little ending and just being there like, yeah, this is just a little Easter egg. What's this? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out and asked we asked people, there used to be some sort of punctuation there. We asked people to email the narrator for questions. Well, we had initially planned to use these for further promotional materials, but we never found the perfect use for them. Here are the sections of the emails. Okay, so from Forrest Gadius, dear narrator, will the Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? Oh, it's gone too fast. Some questions from Michael N. How do you make the JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? What does that even mean? Is that a reference to something? How is the game? How is the game going? I hope it's good or better than the first one. From a cool man. Ah, so it must be about the deluxe version, which is what I've got. Are you a rock? And it's spelled question. It's not spelled right. What is the strange number? Can you tell me about the significance of 11128000 is? Oh, well, I don't know. I guess these are all reference to when the game first came out, and I don't know. I never played the game when it first came out. Game design mock-up. This is a level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout and mock-up is still the same. Ooh, well, where's the sparks? Just why, Stanley, why? What else is in here? Oh, this is a lift we get stuck in. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down. Yeah, that's the point. I did click up. I did wonder where it went. I mean, I don't think I've clicked up yet. Could go up and down with the freedom above, the countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the two endings together instead. Ah. Cool, I didn't think people would find it so difficult, but countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. I don't think we've really done anything in this room yet. We've not done anything. We've been in it like once. Freedom ending, this is the freedom ending. Ooh, looks nice. Countdown desk. One of the desks for the early versions of the countdown ending. Oh, so it's got lots of PCs. No thank you, lots of screens. Can we look out these windows? No, they're just windows. I do like the ceilings and stuff. I like this. It's cool. Cool. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending. We thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly after launch. I don't think I've been in here. No, I've not been in here. I don't think. There's a big red button. Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. See, I knew we hadn't come across it yet. The Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull the lever and the narrator would describe what colour they had pulled. Can I pull it now? No. Oh. Oh. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, which each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. The first one was released in May 2012. It features a series of broken runes and a voice of the narrator informing the viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. So I guess there isn't going to be any voiceover, but there is going to be like a PowerPoint. Okay, cool, well that's interesting. I just thought for a second that I was like, did I not put on my, did I not click record? I think it's sad. I was about to be sad about that. I was like, oh no, which way? Which way? Did I go this way? I don't think I've been either way. Okay. Meeting room. Oh, so you've got option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4. Vent. I don't think we've done a vent. This is spoilers. Spoilers. Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right since players would replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Well, I'm not surprised. Ooh, what's in here then? Oh, the telephone ending. The apartment timer. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, the timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. We haven't picked up the phone yet. We unplugged it. We made the narrator really mad when we did that. The office. Okay, we've already seen that. So we've gone around in a circle then. So is that everything in here? Excuse me. I think that is everything. Yeah, that's everything. Cool! I think we've seen everything then. So what do? Do we just restart the game? Or at least everything on this side. We'll go have a look over here. I don't think there's anything up there. Oh, the boss's office. Screens for development phase of the boss's office. Interesting. Office clock. Oh, that stupid clock never says anything. What's up here? The lounge. Yes, we've been in the lounge. Underground. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Mind control facility. Ooh. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips of early takes that were not used in the final game. Takes that I can't hear, so we're gonna move on. Yeah, which tells me there is something funny going on with the game at the moment then. Definitely, I don't know. We don't know. We're just gonna carry on. Freedom ending, yeah, we've already seen that. What's going on here then? Did you see that? Did you see that? They had all the buttons up. Ooh! Come on, go up again. Oh. No! Oh. Oh, he won't let me. Okay, yeah, so we have seen. We've seen everything then. Let's carry on.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I'm scared. I'm gonna turn her off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you choose it, don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, I was hoping I could duck underneath. Apparently not. She sounded so urgent and I didn't want to interrupt her either. Okay, so that's what happens if we go that way then. So I'm going to see what's underneath the new content. Poor narrator is probably not used to peace so quiet. He's gotten for like the last 10 minutes or so that we were in that room reading things.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ah,
what could it mean?
good old narrator's
Stanley
back.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hmm. There we go, there it is. We pressed another button. Oh, I mean, we might not be able to find our co-workers, but we still have to do our job. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. It's not another one of those, you know, games that you designed, is it, narrator? Because that was awful. Bye. Excuse me, I don't know what's coming over me all of a sudden. I think it's because it's warm. It's warm in here, so I've kind of got all sleepy.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're welcome.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Okay.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
It does.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let's go.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special
It's a
yet,
lift,
but I'm
actually.
sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Where are we going? The lift's not going anywhere. Hello?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or...
Don't steal
here
my
we go.
idea.
All right, finally, at
Okay,
long
okay.
last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I think the narrator's more enthusiastic than we are. I think I'm a bit scared.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
He's such a sass pot. I love it. It's great. Can I get out? Oh. It's behind me the entire time. The
All
jump
right.
circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay, so I can jump. Is that it? Is that all?
Is that it? Surely that's
Stop
not
stealing my
all the new content.
words!
There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley,
Yes.
I have to say,
have a
initial
loading
impressions of
speed,
this
Narrator.
game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is
Jumping's
this what
great!
passes for exciting new
Don't rib
content?
on
If this
jumping,
is
man.
new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Please do.
Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yeah.
I think you should just keep
I
sussing
knew
it, because
there
every
had to be
time you do
something
it,
else.
brings up new
Let's see
content,
it.
so...
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Ooh, there's a bridge. Don't look down if you got vertigo. Thank you for enjoying the new
That's
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's
different
trophies,
games,
and it's
but
hard to
charges
believe one of
loads
them
for
actually
expansion
says,
packs.
"Test
There should be
trophy,
base game
please
content."
ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
You should do.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm
Aww.
afraid. It could
I'll go
never
sit in
have
the
lived
chair
up
and
to such
sulk.
expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
How do I do that? Oh, apparently he's doing it for me. I'm gonna get a choice. He's just gonna do it. He's straight up to select. Yeah, no. Screw you, Stanley. My God, Narrator. Is that it? I bet you that's not it. There's gotta be more to it. Narrator. Our door's broken. Our door, it's broken. We've just got a picture of the original Stanley Parable instead. Jim? Jim? Let's go. Alright, we can't go that way, so we'll go up here.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
What's this way then? Do we trust him? That looks like I'm gonna trust him. I'm gonna go in the vent. I'm gonna go in the vent. Ooh. Ooh. Huh. Why is everything an endless drop into a black void of doom? I'm surprised we haven't broken our ankles considering how many holes we've like fallen down into.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Yes.
got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Oh yeah?
Just our little secret.
Okay.
Take a look.
Ooh. Ooh.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences
I love this.
like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is so cute. I am in love. Oh, and a door opens for me. And there's like a little basket with like a phone and some towels. Oh, and there's flowers everywhere. This is lovely. This is so cute and so lovely. And yeah.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port?
Remember back in October of 2013,
Cheap
when the game
PlayStation 4.
originally
I play on
launched?
PlayStation.
Back then, video
I'm on
games had
PlayStation.
integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I would bash the PlayStation port, but if it wasn't for it, I wouldn't be playing it. So, what's this? Stanley Parable. It's like a Golden Globes award for the Stanley Parable. Audience award. I don't know, it's just a box. Alright, cool. Good times. Memory lane. We seem to be getting a lot of stuff about how the game is made. The $1, the United States, Argentina. Why is that in here? We've got this. Ooh. Nominee. That was us a couple of episodes ago. Ooh, what's in here then?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
I
And
don't
now
think it was.
it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
Oh, I
lifeless
thought the Narrator's
husk
having a bad
with an
day.
hour of new elevator content.
Hey, I like the lift content. I got to jump for the first time ever. It never happens. You're introducing new mechanics, Narrator. It's not that bad. It's cool building on the depth of the game. Person of the year. And it's Stanley. Is that the Narrator? Is that the other lady? And, you know, the female Narrator. I've got all of these. I don't know what they are, but... Oh, and we're back here. The end is never the end. It's never the end. I see that on every loading screen. It's like a computer with That's what our computer looks like. It's not what my computer looks like at all, but that's what I mean. It's from our perspective. We've got a globe. I can't play with it. 29. A bicycle. Seems like a random collection of things.
Moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Aww.
All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Well, unfortunately for you, Narrator, they did. So you're just going to have to deal with it, okay?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
They were indeed.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Hey, now we don't regret things. We can reminisce about the past, yes, but we don't go whatever. We can't change it. It's happened. So you have to look forward to the future. Because otherwise you just break your neck staring back all the time.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, where are we
I
going?
don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
No.
What's this? What's down here?
I wish I sat on those benches for a while. Drinks. Can I actually get a drink this time? I would like the purple one, please. Oh. No. Ah. I never get to have drinks. Ooh.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collected down here.
Oh,
Surely
God.
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
He showed us the good ones, so is these going to be all the bad ones now?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion.
the narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
Not
with
true.
his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of
What
gags
is
to
it with
insert
things
into the
hitting me on the
Stanley
head of this
Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Pressurized gas, pressurized gas. Da, 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 da. Oh, I just got it. I was like, there's no site called pressurized gas. I just got it. It's something that comes off a cup of tea or something that is hot. I can't believe it took me that long. I literally stared at the thing and, oh God. Is there anything in here? No. I'm not that clever. I don't play PC games very often, so I just did not click. This one's a good one, so obviously we can't read it.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
A little bit,
You
yes.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
I
Good
am,
goodness.
yes.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it
Well, that
would.
was what your problem
But
is.
maybe it wasn't.
You need more fluff for things to
Yeah.
be light and airy.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Yeah.
I feel like a failure. Like I let
Aw.
these people down.
No,
Perhaps
narrator,
the
no.
Stanley
You're
Parable
not.
isn't
We all
quite
have
as
off
sterling as
days.
I
We all
always
feel
remembered.
down. Ignore the negative comments. You know, the point is that the majority of people enjoy your video game narrator, including me. Jim, we're friends. We got this. We build each other up. So I know I ignore your instructions most of the time, but stay positive, man. Keep your head up. That's an order from Stanley for a change. I don't know why I'm giving him such positive encouragement, considering he's a disembodied voice in a game. But you know,
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
damn.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that.
Okay,
If
we
I'm
can.
truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
I'm scared.
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for
I'm
the
scared.
customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Do I dare at this point? It's like there are so many times in this game where I'm like, do I go forward?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was
Does this
plenty of
change?
time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue
I
full
would
of
do.
unnecessary
Change. So
verbal
it's
flourishes
10
and
past
lengthy
1 right now.
ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you
Nope.
can tell me what... Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Yes.
But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps.
I don't think so.
To be honest, I don't even know if
It's
one can change their
2025.
review
This
in the
game
first
came
place.
out ages
I guess
ago.
I should become
They're not
better
going to do. I mean,
educated on
this
how
version of the
exactly
game came out
pressurized
3 years
gas
ago, so they're
works.
not going to do it. I'm sorry,
Perhaps that
narrator.
would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine,
Just give me 1 second. I'm
that
going to
after
drink tea
seeing this
while the narrator
exciting new
rattles.
technology at work,
Surely, whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
No.
Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change
No.
their review. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was...
Oh, look, the clock
well,
just changed. It's
I
been an
want to say
hour.
maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's... well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking. Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Oh my
just
God,
sitting
dude. Get a
here,
hobby.
Not a single person to speak with. And you'd
Get
think
a
that that's
hobby.
just how it's always been, right?
Bye.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're
Hello.
here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever
After a
sat
year?
down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest times.
Why didn't you get up and
Days,
move, dude?
months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe
Nice
as the
poetry,
collapse
man.
of every moment I have
Subside and
ever
describe.
experienced my entire life.
Rhyming couplets
All
right
of
there.
them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both.
Narrator! I broke him again. He's gonna talk to me now. There is a camera in the corner that he's keeping an eye on us with. An alarm? The clock's fallen off the wall. It's not actually ticking.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But what the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of
Dude.
their pitiful demands. But then,
It's
he's
been
talking
over a
too
year.
much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As
I'm not gonna sit through his entire run, oh no. I show somebody has, but yeah, I want out of this room. I feel like this button's probably the only way to do it. How old is the narrator gonna be?
the end is never the end.
And is never the end, is never the end.
End is never
This
the
can't just
end,
copy
is never
speak.
the end, is never 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 the end, is...
Hello? Sometimes he talks, sometimes he doesn't. Come on, go yellow again. I want to see if I can get him again. Oh. Holy Christ. How long has it been? Narrator? How do I get out? Narrator! Jim! Jim! I can see daylight! Jim! Trees are growing. I think Jim's gone. I think he perished. Okay. How many? Oh, it's a lot less nice now. And I still got no exit, but surely my only way out is that way. And we ain't got no clock either. Come on, let me out. Seriously, there's nothing but a dark void behind us. So, oh, come on, button. There we go. Oh, 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 oh. What happens if we press it now? I think it's broken. Yeah, we can't press it. We have to go this way then. Jim? Jim, I have freedom! Jim, Jim, I made it! I made it! Woo, they need a sprint button. They need a sprint button. I walk towards the sun. Do I have to restart the game? I think I do. Begin the game again? I presume that's what I had to do. I don't know. I don't know. Is that what I had to do? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, this looks right. Well, ish. Narrator?
Psst.
No.
Stanley!
No.
Come over here.
I'm going this way.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I
Nope.
made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
A dork anyways. You! Fine, whatever, man. I'm happy being a dork. You're a nerd. A boffin. A wet blanket. Should I continue with my insults? Oh. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I think we're back in the normal game,
Yes,
guys.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Have we been across? Oh yeah, we got the telephone
Stanley
again.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't years ago.
Okay, we're gonna go get the telephone
Look,
ending, and
Stanley,
then I'm
I
gonna call
think
it there,
perhaps
I
we've
think.
gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I know, it's been quite
There's someone
adventure.
you've
We've
been
been all
neglecting,
over the place.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Okay, I'll let her back in.
She's been waiting.
We didn't do it last time. Last time we didn't answer the phone. We just kind of unplugged it, so...
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Okay. Alright, Narrator, you win this time. Again, as per usual. He usually ends up winning at the end. What's gonna happen? I'm kind of scared, because Stanley's never gone home. 2427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just
can't
pulling the
move.
bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
No!
Oh, come on.
I wanted
Did you
a
actually
wife.
think you had a loving wife?
Yes, I
They'd want to
deserve
commit their
one.
life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Yeah, which
I'm
is...
trying to get you to see something.
What?
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No, I want to go this way.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
No, 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 don't. He sounds, I feel like a mouse being trapped by some cheese. I'm scared. Why is my wife a mannequin?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, God. Good morning, press that button. No, no. Why is the chair in the bedroom in the doorway? Like, what's going on here, game? I'm pressing all my other buttons. Okay, fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that
That
demands
is kind of
nothing
true.
of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
We need to clean our sink. Jeez Louise, Narrator. Everything else in here is like nice and pristine, but the sink, nope.
Look at him there.
At least he's
pushing
saying
buttons,
please.
doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now
What
he's
did that
eating
do?
lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
That desk get changed. What else is going to
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Nothing changed
From
that
behind
time.
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
Okay, what's going to happen?
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh, poor Stanley.
And so
Watch
he began to
TV.
fantasize about his own job.
Oh, we
First,
got a
he
window
imagined that
now.
one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his
Our TV's
co-workers,
gone,
his
and we got
boss,
office files.
everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off
My
the
wife
face
is
of
kind of
the
scary
earth.
though. She just
The
kind of stands
thought
there.
excited
I'm gonna
him
hold her
terribly.
hand. Let's
So
spend time with
he
the
went
boys.
further.
Woo!
He imagined that he came to
Friday,
two open
yeah.
doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
Oh, poor
The mere
Stanley.
thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Almost, but not quite. Please press X to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Why is it so dirty,
Down
man?
one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Where's the skip
And
button?
down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Please press X to tell your kids a story. But I don't have any kids.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I love you, wife.
But there is no
Ah!
answer. How could there
She
possibly
left me. I
be?
got lost.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he
Sometimes
always
I love you,
has.
can't fix
Nothing
it.
has changed. The longer he spends here, the
I
more
hate Monday,
invested
as I
he
assume.
gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
No, I want to glitch up onto this desk if it will let me. Is it possible? I don't think so. I was going to see if I could go out the window.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. As long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
How long do I have to not do it for?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that
I'm back
every
in the
second
office,
he
let me
remains
out.
here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I don't know. Please press circle to question nothing. I'm going to
Suppose
question
I
nothing.
can't, in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Dan. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I didn't push a button that time for context, and there goes my phone. Better beep up. Getting text messages. Sorry, Sally. The world is calling for me. I can't keep pushing buttons on my controller. I must have my choices of freedom. Oh, poor Stanley, man. Oh, once I load in, we're gonna see what happens. Ah, I'm back here. Okay, well, after that, seeing as the narrator is so determined for us not to push buttons, I am going to not push any more, apart from the stop recording button. So, I'm going to call it there for today, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and if you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next week for more Stanley Parable adventures. Bye for now!